G'day everyone, Artist Wayne Dowson here with the final video of our epic holiday in beautiful Tasmania. And in the last video I ended with a brilliant ride with 27 like-minded adventure riders, and they took me out for some awesome adventure riding. So where do you go from that? Well friends, Ben Lomond National Park's a good start. So that's where Jacqui and I headed the morning after my epic ride with the Tasmanian adventure riders. The magnificent mountain of Ben Lomond with its imposing and precipitous cliffs is visible over much of the northern Midlands of Tasmania, so it's not a hard place to find. This place had such a majestic and awe-inspiring sense of feeling for me. The plateau is roughly 14 kilometres in length, 6 kilometres wide, and is in excess of 1,300 metres in height. And that equates to a whole lot of fun when you're riding up to the summit on all those beautiful hairpin switchbacks. Ben Lomond National Park is invaluable for the conservation of the flora communities and species diversity of Tasmania's alpine areas. The area consists of an outstanding variety of glacial and periglacial features. And the fun part is riding up Jacob's Ladder, which is definitely not for the faint-hearted. There's not much protecting you from going over the edge, and it's hard not to look out at that beautiful horizon. As you wind your way up, every time you make a different pass, the landscape changes dramatically. For anyone visiting Tasmania, this is a must-do. It's a magical place, and it was definitely one of my favourites. Once you reach the top, you have a beautiful 360-degree eagle's view of absolute wonder. But you know what they say, what goes up must come down. And if Jacqueline thought the ascent was a little hair-raising, the descent is even scarier. But we did it, we enjoyed it, and had an absolutely magnificent day. So how do you top that? Well, the following day we packed up, left our beautiful campsite beside the river at Longford, and we headed to Cradle Mountain. The ride that day was awesome, and we found as much dirt to ride on as we possibly could. For this was the start of the terrible fires that were burning through the Tasmanian wilderness. From vantage points along the way, we could see about 5 fires burning. And the places we were riding through today were closed the following day. Cradle Mountain forms the northern end of the wild Cradle Mountain Lake St Clair National Park and is part of the Tasmanian Wilderness World Heritage Area. Just the ride getting there was spectacular, but I must say we were a little worried. It's a place where the weather can often turn bad, and we'd been so lucky with beautiful weather the whole time that we were crossing our fingers and hoping that the weather at Cradle Mountain would be exactly the same. Our accommodation for the next few nights was going to be the beautiful Cradle Mountain Hotel. It's nestled within a breathtaking alpine forest in the Central Highlands of Tasmania. Jacqui and I were having a rest from camping and we were pampering ourselves. The hotel has 2 wonderful restaurants where we enjoyed beautiful local cuisines and some very lovely Tasmanian wines. The following day, Jacqui and I were up bright and early and on the bus. We were heading to the beautiful Dove Lake. The lake and its surrounds will take your breath away. It lies in the Cradle Mountain Lake St Clair National Park, and it's a very popular visitor attraction, and you can see why. The lake is encircled by walking paths, and Jacqui and I spent many hours walking, photographing, and simply enjoying the beauty. The following day, Jacqui and I had a more relaxing day. We visited Cradle Mountain, Devil Park, and also visited some of the firefighters who were doing a Herculean effort trying to keep those terrible fires in check. And the weather for Cradle Mountain, well, it was just spectacular. The next day we were all packed and making our way to Devonport, not before exploring some nice trails that took us out to another beautiful lake. And when we arrived in Devonport for our last 2 days, we rented a beautiful house and entertained some very special guests. Our new friends Jody, Jeff and Phil. And before boarding the boat, we had a wonderful lunch with Kevin, Beryl and Kelvin. Jacqui and I had spent the most wonderful 4 weeks in beautiful Tasmania. It's a place I think we'll definitely call home in the near future. We had an absolutely wonderful time on our adventure and met the most wonderful people, locals and holiday travellers just like us. So that, my friends, is our adventure in beautiful Tasmania. And I hope you all enjoyed watching. I'm Artist Wade Dowsett, and I'll see you on the trails.